Harry Potter fans have imagined for years what it would be like to have an animated version of the series. So today we're going to take one of the most recognizable art styles of all time, the Pixar art style, and imagine what it would be like if we had Harry Potter characters in Pixar form, and it's all thanks to the power of AI. And I should point out, we're going to be using the book descriptions for all of these characters, so they may look slightly different than their movie counterparts that we already know. This is going to be totally unscripted, guys, so let's dive in and see what the AI comes up with. All right, starting off with the boy who lived himself. I have male, student, teenager, untidy jet black hair, almond-shaped green eyes, skinny, thin face, round-rimmed glasses, lightning scar on his forehead, and Gryffindor. Let's see what happens. All right, wow, that's pretty good. For some reason, not exactly what I was picturing in my head, but it's got the round glasses, it's got the green almond-shaped eyes, it's got the untidy black hair. You also have the fact that he's wearing the Gryffindor colors, and he looks as if he's getting ready to go to school. The lightning-shaped scar, not exactly the lightning shape I would be picturing anyway. And then, I don't know, something about this version of Harry. The nose might be a little bit big, and he just looks kind of sad. Why does he look so sad? Maybe I should have had him smiling. All right, up next we have Harry's best friend, Ron Weasley, and here's what the books say. Male, student, teenager, red hair, blue eyes, tall, lanky, freckles, and of course, Gryffindor. Oh my goodness, look at Ron. Okay, I have no idea what is going on with the clothing here. And I mean, obviously it's kind of like a shot from the chest up, so we can't really tell how tall he is. Dude, okay, it looks a little bit more like a Pixar version of Rupert Grint. I think that's kind of what the AI took and just ran with there. But I do kind of like this. I definitely get vibes of Ron here. It's just the clothing. I don't know why I picked that for the clothing. All right, now let's go to Hermione. I'm going to use female, student, teenager, bushy brown hair, bright brown eyes, light complexion, large front teeth, and Gryffindor. Let's see what we get. Oh my goodness. I like this one a lot. I mean, it definitely has the big teeth for sure. The eyes are great. The hair, not quite as, I mean, I know she doesn't have wild hair, but it's, you know, bushy brown hair. I expect it just to be a little bit more wild, I guess, in nature, but that's pretty accurate. And her attire is much more appropriate than Ron's. I don't know what was going on with Ron's there. I definitely did put freckles in there for Hermione, but I like this. I like this one quite a bit. And now let's move on to Ginny Weasley. I'm really looking forward to this one. We've got female, student, teenager, red hair, bright brown eyes, petite stature, freckled complexion, light skin, extremely pretty, how she was described in the books, and then Gryffindor. Oh man, that is so good. That is so good, especially for like the younger version of Ginny, like maybe when Harry first meets her, you know, before he gets on the train his first year, or possibly in his second year, of course, when Ginny opens the Chamber of Secrets inadvertently. That's pretty accurate. I'd love to see this version like as she grows older, but that, to me, that is spot on. Man, I really like that one. I think that's probably my favorite so far. Okay, but now we must move on to Draco Malfoy. We've got male, student, teenager, sleek, white blonde hair, cold gray eyes, slender, pale face, haughty good looks, and of course, Slytherin. Oh wow, Malfoy. Ooh. I mean, it definitely fits the physical description. To me, this just doesn't look like much of a Pixar character. I mean, there are some elements of Pixar, I guess, but I mean, it definitely has the hair. Wow, look at the hair. And it kind of resembles Tom Felton, you know, in a way. The eyes just look really, I don't know about the eyes. There's something off about the eyes. Of course, we're looking at like a cartoon version of the character anyway, so eyes always look a little bit different. But I don't hate this one, but I don't love it either. All right, we have Neville Longbottom up next, who was described quite a bit different in the books than how he's depicted in the movies. We've got male, student, teenager, blonde hair, round face, short, chubby, buck teeth, and Gryffindor. Of course, the way we're describing Neville there, that's in his very early years as a student in Hogwarts. So let's see what the AI comes up with. Oh my goodness. No. No. Why does this make me think more of Dudley than Neville? Wow. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one at all. Let's see if it could do a better job with Luna Lovegood. We've got female, student, teenager, straggly waist-length, dirty blonde hair, protuberant, I think is how you pronounce that, silvery eyes, pale eyebrows, permanently surprised expression, dreamily distracted, aura of distinct dottiness. I had to look up what that was. I had no idea. And Ravenclaw. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and predict on this one. It's not going to do a great job. There are so many just very, very specific terms. Oh, man. Oh. Wow. Luna looks like she has, I mean, she has been through it. My goodness. If she didn't look quite so straggly, I mean, it definitely did the straggly waist length, dirty blonde hair, but then you could see like in the shirt here, it took that dirty and also applied it to the shirt. I mean, this looked like if we took this version of Luna and kind of had her, you know, just clean up a little bit and maybe make the hair a little bit more blonde, I think we would be much closer. But this one, we could work with this one. This is not as bad as Neville, for sure, but also not as good as the earlier ones that we had. Okay, big one. Everybody's looking forward to this one, of course. Albus Dumbledore. We got male professor, very old, long silver hair, long silver beard, bright blue eyes, half-moon spectacles, tall, thin, crooked, broken nose. I think I'm going to change that just to crooked. Yeah, I'm going to say long, crooked nose and colorful robes. Come on, man. You got to get Dumbledore right. This is a big one. You know what? That is pretty good. I mean, the nose, it's definitely a large nose. It's not crooked at all, even though I said long, crooked nose. It's just a large nose. But the glasses, oh, wait. They gave him Harry Potter glasses, too. Supposed to be half-moon spectacles. But other than that, this totally looks like something Dumbledore would wear, though. Does it not? I mean, think about it. It's a Pixar version of Dumbledore. The eyebrows, the hair, the wrinkled look. That one's pretty solid, I would say. I'm pleased with that one overall. I think we could definitely, if we just tweak the glasses a bit, and then we got the nose to be a little bit longer, kind of crooked, that one is solid. Up next, we have Hagrid. Now, Hagrid, I can just almost immediately picture a Pixar version of Hagrid in my head. We'll see how close the AI gets to it. We've got male, gamekeeper, middle-aged adult, shaggy black hair, wild, tangled black beard covering most of his face, black eyes, giant, large, wide, and moleskin coat. It looks like the dude, this is supposed to be Pixar. Come on, it looks like the guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Remember the dad? Right? How his eyes, you like don't see them for most of the movie. Come on. We got to get a better Hagrid than this. Let's go. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is pretty accurate to my physical description of him. Although comparing it to the first one, I think I may like the first one a little bit better. Nah. I would go with this. The second one looks like in the eyes, he looks just like a little bit kinder. And you know, Hagrid is definitely kind. So I'm going to go with the second one as the preferred, although I don't really love either one of those. I think the Dumbledore was much better. All right, moving on to another Hogwarts professor, we have Minerva McGonagall, female professor, 70 years old, black hair and a tight bun, tall, stern face, very prim, pointed hat, emerald green robes, and square spectacles. We'll see if they get the spectacles right. For whatever reason with Dumbledore, they just gave him Harry Potter's style of glasses instead. Let's see if they get McGonagall's right. Oh, dude, that is really, really accurate, I think. Wow. I mean, it's not, I don't get a Pixar art style from that very much, especially not like the others. It doesn't look like 3D like the other ones do. But, I mean, that is McGonagall to a T, I would say. Yeah, I mean, other than it not really fitting the Pixar art style, I don't have too many complaints at all with that one. All right, Gilderoy Lockhart. I feel like it should create a really good version of Lockhart because, I mean, he's just, I feel like there's already been a couple of animated characters already that look so much like Lockhart. So with Lockhart, we have male professor, adult, wavy blonde hair, bright blue eyes, handsome, good looking, straight white, shiny teeth, colorful robes, confident, arrogant, and cocky. Oh, dude. Yes. That absolutely, I mean, that the smile, the eyes, the hair. Again, I feel like we're getting a little bit away from the Pixar art style for whatever reason, but that is 100% how I could see like an animated, slightly Pixar version of Gilderoy Lockhart. I mean, the robes, it's obviously doesn't look like anything I've seen him wear in the books, but I could totally see him wearing something like that. All right, another one I've been really looking forward to. Our boy Severus Snape, male professor, adult, shoulder-length, greasy black hair, curling lips, penetrating eyes, sallow skin, large hooked nose, yellow uneven teeth, and black flowing robes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh dude. Okay. Oh wow. The nose is definitely a little bit, I mean, it is Pixar, right? So it's meant to be more of a cartoonish style. My goodness though, man. Everything else. He looks truly evil, and we know but dude, the teeth, like to me, that is a more accurate, like to the book description, that is pretty accurate. Wow. That might be the best one so far, just in terms of taking the exact description and doing it in Pixar art style. I mean, this screams Pixar art style to me right here. All right, next we have Remus Lupin. We're going to describe him with male, young adult. So we're describing him when he's a teacher, not in his younger days. Light brown hair, tall, pale face, slight wrinkles, shabby, patched clothes, thin mustache, rough beard, and scarred skin. I think there's a lot of good things for the AI to work with on that one. I can see it doing a pretty solid job. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really solid. One thing I don't feel like it's doing as good a job with is keeping all of these consistent, like they could belong in the same movie. But wow, I mean, kind of getting like some explorer vibes, maybe a little bit of Indiana Jones vibes for some reason. Maybe it's just the coat, the little jacket there. But it absolutely got the physical description. You've got kind of the unkempt brown hair. You got the scarring. Pretty impressive for a Remus Lupin. Okay, now let's try Lupin's significant other, Tonks. So we're going to go female, young adult, short, spiky pink hair. Now, of course, the funny thing about Tonks is she can change her appearance at will. So we're going to go with when she first met Harry, dark twinkling eyes, and then a pale face. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure why it just gave us like the headshot. Maybe because we didn't have more of a physical description. Dude, I really like that version of Tonks. I mean, very pixie-like, you know? I mean, if you put wings on her, that could easily be a fairy in some other Pixar movie. But going by the physical description, I mean, yeah, the hair is great. And then I guess they just decided to go ahead and give her the pink eyes as well, even though we described them as dark and twinkling. She's definitely got the pale look as well. And of course, as we know, she can change her appearance anyway, but I really like that version of Tonks. I'd be curious to see what it would look like as a, fully complete character rather than just the headshot there. But yeah, that one's pretty good. Okay, next, let's try Sirius Black. We've got male, young adult, lustrous black hair, striking gray eyes, darkly handsome, fair skin, casually elegant, and haughty face. I love some of those descriptions of Sirius, like the casually elegant and then the darkly handsome. Let's see what our AI is able to come up with here for a Pixar version of that. Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, it's lustrous black hair for sure. I think because of Gary Oldman, we picture the hair going like shoulder length. But given the description we have, I mean, it certainly fits. He's got the striking gray eyes for sure. Darkly handsome, fair skin. Skin looks a little bit darker. Maybe it's just kind of the lighting that they're using on it. Casually elegant. I definitely get a sense of casual elegance, and then the haughty face. Man, it's going to be so interesting as AI advances. Like one day will I be able to just take this character and say, now animate it and make him like start moving around on screen, because like the shot looks good, but I want to see the character talking and moving around to really get a feel like, is that serious or not? And I do think, man, maybe it's just I can't separate Gary Oldman. I do think I'd like to see the hair longer, but everything else completely fits. All right, Wormtail. This one could be really interesting because Wormtail has some kind of bizarre descriptions. We've got male, young adult, thinning, mousy brown hair, small, watery eyes, short, grubby skin, pointed nose, and ugly. Oh, dude, this is really interesting. Not what I would have expected. And I mean, they missed the young adult part for sure, but it's almost like they created the boy version of Pettigrew. Let's do a little refresh, see what happens. Okay, yeah, this is way more accurate here. This is, he definitely kind of has that grubby look. But again, for whatever reason, they're not able to get the pointed nose. I don't know why they're not giving me the pointed nose. On Snape, we had the incredibly pointed nose. For whatever reason, on Pettigrew here, it does not want to give him a pointed nose. But this one completely fits. I think it took the last version and made kind of like a slightly more tattered version of that. And again, for whatever reason, it is not wanting to make him as a young adult, because this just looks like a little kid to me. All right, let's go ahead and get the final Marauder. Of course, I'm talking about Harry's father, James Potter. We've got male, young adult, untidy black hair, brown eyes, tall, thin, slightly long nose, confident, round glasses, and handsome. Oh, dang. That's really solid, actually. I'm getting some, like, Clark Kent vibes from him, but maybe a little bit more chiseled than I was expecting. I mean, James looks like he'd be ripped right here, but a very solid description. And I think he's differentiated enough from Harry because of the eyes and the nose. You can definitely tell that the nose is a little bit larger. I almost just put long nose, but I'm glad I went with slightly long nose instead, because a lot of times with AI, you don't want to end up with James having a nose like Snape. That one is pretty good. I think that's one of the better ones so far. All right, so now that we've got our James, let's go and see if we can get Lily Potter. We've got female, young adult, thick, dark red hair, almond-shaped, bright green eyes. Lots of characters with almond-shaped eyes. And then beautiful. Lily was described as beautiful in the books. Okay, this is pretty good. It does not look Pixar at all to me, though. I mean, this almost looks like, I don't know. I've definitely seen animated characters that look more in this style, but this is not Pixar at all. I mean, definitely like a beautifully animated character here. It's got the thick red hair. It's got the almond-shaped green eyes. But then, like, you look at how it compares to the version of James that we had. I mean, to me, James looks a little bit more like a Pixar character, whereas this one seems to be getting away from that Pixar art style. But I definitely like it. I definitely think it's a good version of Lily, just not quite as Pixar as I would have imagined it. All right, let's try Arthur Weasley. We're going to say male, adult, balding, red hair, green eyes, freckles, tall, and thin. That's solid. I mean, that's a decent looking Pixar version of Arthur Weasley. I mean, I picture him having even less hair than this, honestly. I picture it being even more balding than what they're showing here. But it's definitely thinning out. You can tell he's got the freckles, he's got the red hair, he's got the green eyes. They did a good job with that. And then the overall complexion, I think, is great. He kind of looks like a private detective or something, though, which, I mean, he does work for the Ministry, so I guess it kind of fits. Let's see what we get for Molly Weasley. We're going to say female, adult, red hair, brown eyes, short, plump, and kind. Oh my goodness, Molly Weasley. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, I wish it wasn't just the headshot, but it's like a casting call or something, They're submitting these to me for review. Do they make it into your movie or not? That's pretty good for Molly Weasley. That's almost exactly how I'd picture. Again, I just wish it would do more than just the headshot there, but I think that's a pretty solid job. All right, this is our first time trying 2 characters. So we're going to do the Weasley twins. So I'm going to say twins, male, students, teenagers, red hair, freckles, short, stocky, and Gryffindor. Let's see if it actually gives me both twins here or if it just gives me one, because we're also going to try the Patil twins later. And what's interesting about them, of course, is that one was a Ravenclaw, one was a Gryffindor. So at least with the Weasley twins here, they're both in Gryffindor. Oh, dude, that is really good. That might be the best ones yet. Wow. I mean, short, stocky, yes. The freckles. And yet, dude, that is insane. Because you could tell they're twins, but you can also tell there are, like, subtle differences as well. Like the one on the right, the nose is just a little bit larger. Freckles are, of course, in different spots as well. And then the mouth is a little bit slightly. Oh, dude. And then the hair. The hair is styled in a different way. I could 100%. I mean, Pixar art style, the Gryffindor, it almost looks like a family portrait, Like Mrs. Weasley would have this sitting in her house somewhere. That is really nice. How about Percy? We're going to say male, student, teenager, red hair, freckles, studious, horn-rimmed glasses, pretentious, and of course, Gryffindor. Oh man, this is interesting. I don't know if I get Percy vibes. I mean, great job in the Pixar art style here. The Gryffindor aspect is great. I mean, this definitely looks like a studious Weasley. I could see that. A little bit pretentious. I see that. The glasses, it's like they just, anytime you say glasses, they know it's Harry Potter. So they want to put Harry Potter, just the circular glasses on everything. It's not bad, but I wish the face was like a little bit thinner and not quite as, like this jawline is just like really defined on this character right here. So it'll be interesting to see when we do Bill, how this compares, or Bill and Charlie, actually, how this compares to them. All right, speaking of Bill, let's do him next. We've got male, young adult, long red hair in a ponytail, because it says that's how he usually wore it, tall, thin, handsome, cool, and then one fang earring. I kept struggling with how to describe that. We'll see if it actually gets it correct. So I want it to just be one earring with a fang dangling from it, but we'll see how it interprets that. Oh, dude, that is a really good Bill. That's a really good Bill. I feel like it's a little bit of a departure again from the Pixar art style. I wish it was more kind of that, I don't know, is it three-dimensional? Is that even the right term? That more 3D look like we saw with Percy before. But in terms of Bill, I mean, it looks more like a tooth earring than just a single fang, but that's not bad at all. Up next, we have Charlie Weasley, who is also male, young adult, red hair, short, stocky, muscular arms, freckles, and tanned skin. Oh man, that's, where is the shirt? Just because I say he's muscular, they're like, okay, he can't be wearing a shirt. Ridiculous. But I mean, that is, for a Pixar version of Charlie Weasley, that is pretty good, I think. Okay, this next one, I'm going to be impressed if it's anywhere close to being accurate. We got Mad-Eye Moody, male, adult, professor, dark gray, grizzled hair, one small dark eye, and one electric blue magical eye. I feel like AI really struggles when you try and have asymmetrical things, when you try to make one eye look different from the other, so we'll see. Maybe it's improved. Wooden-like face, scarred face, chunk of nose missing, wooden leg with a clawed foot. So because of the fact that we're asking for a leg, maybe we'll get the full body shot here of Mad-Eye. Whoa, that is not at all what I expected. And obviously they gave him a wooden hand instead of a wooden arm. That is a really interesting version of Mad-Eye. I like this interpretation, actually. I mean, obviously you'd have to fix the hand. I don't want the hand to be like that. But it did do the eye correctly. We've got one just much bigger eye, and then the other one's a lot smaller. That is really solid. I like that one quite a bit. If only it had gotten the hand correctly, that one had a lot of potential. But that is one of the better ones, though. If we just take the face. Okay, now we have Harry's first love interest, Cho Chang, female student teenager, long, shiny, dark hair, Asian, extremely pretty, and then freckled nose. Wow, that is a really good Cho. That is really good. I actually forgot to put Ravenclaw, didn't I? But they still even have her wearing blue. That is really impressive. I don't think I have anything I would change about this one. I mean, like the freckles, everything, they absolutely nailed it. That is just creepy how good the AI is on that. I mean, I almost expect that character to just start moving and talking like it's actually animated. That is ridiculously impressive. All right, another Hogwarts student here. We've got Dean Thomas, and we're going to say male student, teenager, brown skin, African descent, tall, skinny, and Gryffindor. Okay, yeah, that's pretty solid. He looks a little bit like a younger version of Dean. Again, it's kind of hard to know, like, what age because they're in Hogwarts for 7 years, but that's pretty solid for Dean Thomas. I like it. I like the uniform, the robes, everything looks really good. Dude, after doing all these now, I actually want to see a movie made like this. I know a lot of you out there have just been begging for a Harry Potter animated series. Maybe one day we'll get one. Okay, moving on to another Gryffindor, Seamus Finnegan. We've got male student, teenager, blonde hair, Irish, and Gryffindor. So not a lot to go on there, of course. It is blonde hair, so note the difference there between the movie version of Seamus. Okay, yeah, that one's pretty solid. It looks a little bit more like, almost like Cormac, kind of how I imagined him. I mean, I don't think I would imagine Seamus with the huge kind of wavy hair like that. And he looks a little bit stockier than Seamus, like he's got kind of a little bit thicker in the face. But again, we went by the details of what's given in the book on Seamus, so this very well could be an interpretation of him. I really like the Pixar direction, though. I feel like these last 2 or 3 in particular have been much better, especially than Bill. Like, Bill was solid, but he didn't look anything like a Pixar character. Now we're getting back on track. Okay, we're going to try to do the Patil twins, and we're going to try to do it in one prompt to see if it'll actually show us both of them. So I'm going to say twins, females, students, teenagers, long dark hair worn in a plait, I think is how you pronounce this. I had not heard that term before. Dark eyes, Indian descent, very attractive. Silver necklaces in the shape of the letter P. How about we say one twin is Ravenclaw, one twin is Gryffindor, and see how they do. Ooh, okay. This is pretty good. Yeah, I could definitely see it. They actually put them wearing different color robes. It doesn't really look like house robes of any kind. I mean, I guess it does a little bit, but not like the robes that we've seen so far. But yeah, I could definitely see both of those being Pixar versions of Parvati and Padma Patil. I like it. Solid job, AI. Okay. I'm laughing because now we have Mr. Vernon Dursley. Some of these are getting really funny from here on out. I mean, Vernon Dursley is one of those descriptions that it stands out so vividly in my mind. Like even before I looked it up in writing for this video, you've got, of course, male, adult, dark hair, little eyes. We all remember that. Big, fat, red cheeks, wide, bushy mustache, and then what's the most iconic thing about Vernon? No neck. No neck. That is the one thing I always remember. Why is it not giving them a shirt? I don't know why with some of these guys, it's like not giving them a shirt, but this is hilarious. You know, I realized as I was waiting, I forgot to say that he is also described as a beefy man with a large purple face, and it got it without me even doing that. Dude, that is such a good Vernon Dursley. My goodness, that is in the top one so far. Has to be. A little bit younger maybe than I would imagine him. Okay, now we gotta do Petunia next. Female, adult, blonde hair, large pale eyes. Ooh, I need a comma after that. Thin, long neck, horse-faced, and then large teeth. I have no idea. How is AI going to interpret horse-faced for a Pixar character? Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh, get that off the screen quickly. Okay, we've we've got to try to revise this a little bit. Let's say face that resembles a horse instead of horse-faced. That was actually terrifying. Oh, interesting. Not how I would picture Petunia at all. At all. Maybe in her younger days, but I don't know why it didn't show the teeth and the hair. I know we said blonde hair and we don't really get a description of how Petunia's hair is, if it's long, short, or whatever. Obviously, we have the version that we picture in the movie, and this looks very different from that. But I will say, at least in terms of the facial structure, I mean, I do see how this face more resembles kind of the shape and makes you think of a horse rather than that monstrosity that we saw before it. But man, I'm a little disappointed because Vernon was so good. Okay, let's see about their son, Dudley, though. Male, teenager, blonde hair again, blue eyes, fat, large, round, and wide. Yes, dude. Yes. Again, what's with the no shirt? I don't understand why it's doing that, but the way this one is framed and set up, it almost looks like he's like sitting in a bathtub or something. The way that it's going around his stomach right there. That is hilarious. Much better than Petunia for sure. That absolutely looks like the son of this man right here. Let's put Vernon back up on screen. I mean, come on. That is a really solid Dudley. All right, now let's try Lucius Malfoy. Male, adult, blonde hair, cold gray eyes, pale pointed face, handsome, arrogant, evil. Oh, dude, that is a completely different interpretation of Lucius Malfoy than I would have ever pictured. I'm almost getting like some Joker vibes from him, oddly enough. And clearly they didn't do the Jason Isaacs, even though we didn't say long hair, actually. We just said blonde hair. That's not bad. Not the way I would have gone. A bit of, like I said, a different interpretation of the character, but it fits. All right, now let's try Narcissa Malfoy. Female, adult, long blonde hair, tall, slim, pale, pretty, arrogant, and judgmental. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of Jessica Rabbit vibes from this. I mean, I know we did say pretty, but this is like female model right here. I mean, that look, though, that stare, definitely judgmental. I can 100% feel that. This next one should be super interesting. We're going to do the Triwizard Champions. Now, we thought Narcissa was beautiful. Narcissa almost giving me like Vila vibes from that, you know? So our next one, Fleur Delacour, female student teenager, long silvery blonde hair, tall, confident, thin, graceful, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, and white teeth. Man, she has a lot of descriptions in the book. Oh, that's a really good Fleur. That is really good. The hair, especially. I mean, they absolutely nailed the hair. I'm trying to keep in mind, it is a Pixar movie. Like, there are parts of the face that look like almost too perfect. But then again, it's like she's part Vila. So it's almost, she's almost supposed to have that effect, right? But like the hair and the eyes are really good. Really good, I think. Okay, now let's go to another Triwizard champion, Cedric Diggory. We've got male student, teenager, dark hair, bright gray eyes, tall, extremely handsome, chiseled, strong, mysterious, and of course, Hufflepuff. Oh, dude, that is a great Cedric. That, I mean, he looks much older. Like that does not look like a, let's see, how old was Cedric in that book? Because he was older than Harry. So like what, 15, 16? Like, no. This guy looks like he's in his 20s for sure. R.I.P. Cedric. R.I.P. Yeah, there's no good way to move on from that one. Victor Krum, male, student, teenager, dark hair, dark eyes, thick black eyebrows, thin, sallow-skinned, large curved nose, and grumpy. I feel like the Victor Krum in the movies was way more attractive than the way Krum is described in the book. I think they even say something about like he looked like an oversized bird or something is how some people thought he looked. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know why they made the ears so large, but wow. I guess because I had to go back in and add a descriptor because it was making him look like just really overweight. But so I went in and added athletic build. I mean, because we know he's a professional Quidditch player. So I think that's why it gave him what looks to be like some kind of jersey there. But yeah, I could 100% see that being a Pixar version of Victor Krum. All right, guys, we are down to the final four. And I think I saved the best four for last. At least the most fun descriptions to do. We'll see how the AI is able to interpret it. But we're going to go here with Dolores Umbridge because her description in the books, it's almost like Vernon's, you know? It's one of those that just sticks out in your mind. So we have female, professor, adult, brown hair, ugly, short, squat, fat, wide, flabby face, toad-like face, slack mouth, very little neck, bags under her eyes, fluffy pink cardigan, and black bow in her hair. I mean, she is described just as awful as her character actually is. Oh, oh man. Dude, that is pretty good. That is pretty good, man. I don't really see the bags under the eyes very much, and they did the black bow like here instead of in her hair. But I can just see that little character right there just shouting, "I will have order." All right. Bellatrix Lestrange up next. Female, adult, long black hair, long eyelashes, heavily hooded eyes, good looking, beautiful, haunted, evil, lifeless, tall, strong jawline, thin mouth, and gaunt. I'm so curious to see how the AI interprets this one because it's just like Bellatrix is clearly someone who was beautiful, but just like in a haunting way because you can just see like the life that was once there, how she's now just this tortured soul, this haunted individual. Oh, wow. Ooh, man, that like, I don't get Pixar vibes. She looks just like, what's her name from the Addams Family. But I suppose with the descriptions of like evil and lifeless, that is pretty fitting. Oh man, her face is just so creepily thin, and the neck too. Yikes. Okay, now we're gonna do young Tom Riddle. Male student, teenager, black hair, dark eyes, handsome, pale skin, sharp jawline, confident, mysterious, and Slytherin. Oh, dude, that's good. That is really good. I can 100% see that as a young Tom Riddle attending Hogwarts, talking to the Dumbledore that we had earlier. Maybe a little bit older, like Tom probably in his last year at Hogwarts there. But that's, yeah. I mean, the mysterious vibes are there for sure. Like, look at the way the eyebrow is there. That's good. And then last but certainly not least, I don't see any way they get this right. I just don't see any way, because listen to this description for Voldemort himself. Male, adult, bald, livid scarlet eyes, thin, skeletal, long fingers, chalk white face, snake-like, no nose, no lips, black cloak, and evil. Again, it's trying to make a Pixar version of this, which are kid movies by default. I mean, yes, they have scary characters in some of them, but I'll be surprised if this is anywhere close. Oh, that's not terrible. That, like, I don't know why. It still looks like he has a nose. Oh, it's almost like they interpret it as him having a nose, but it's just like skin where the nose used to be. Oh, that is kind of just creepy in a different way entirely. Oh man, they definitely got the long, thin fingers. And remember, keep in mind, Pixar art style, so they can't make him absolutely terrifying. I'd prefer that he is a little more sinister, but that is such a tough description to work with. He's definitely not my favorite. I think Snape takes the cake for me. I think Snape and probably Vernon were my top two, although there were a lot of other good ones, some others that I was kind of disappointed with. Let me know your favorite ones down in the comments below. Definitely make sure you check out this video next. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.